When those shirts getting here? When those shirts getting here, dog?
Uh, today,
Uh,
today you'll have them
Was
later
that
on today.
okay?
Yep.
That
I
was the
got I got
joy.
State of Liberty shirts in there. I threw in the Red Titan shirt, the new one that was in there, and the NTO. So if Billy Gunn's there, he'll probably like that shirt for sure.
Oh, he'll definitely. um, yeah, Billy is here. He's doing his nap until I pull him on here. Good
I'm
morning,
sure.
everybody. Good afternoon, everybody, wherever you are around the world. Welcome to Twitter. What's the video game one? Twitch. Michael Hearn Twitch. We got Twitter. We got the YouTube. We have Facebook here. We have um, old school X, or what is it? New school X, I guess. Elon, I love you.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
and then IG as well. And then obviously YouTube is running the show here. Guys, this is going to be me and John talking, but I would really like the questions from you, because what I'm doing is I'm opening this door to the man that runs this ship, and he's the man out there doing this. And again, I was watching videos this morning. I'm waking up at 2 or 3. I'm doing another dry out now, getting
Yeah.
ready, and so I was watching some content and I was doing some research. I was doing research on heart disease, on strokes, on again Alzheimer's, because that's just
Yeah.
an ugly one, and I'd like to know more. But I was discovering um, there was some great research on this. A large group of 4,000 to 5,000 people were done on these tests, and
Mm-hmm.
I'll keep studying on this. But I thought this was a great thing as we age and we go through this incredible life of ours. There is the terminology of hustle. Uh, if I can sleep 5 hours, I'll sleep 5 hours and go faster. And I understand the mentality behind that. But again, it goes back to the full research on it. It's not probably the most beneficial. And then on top of that, what I found was it lowers your percentage. And guys, go check out these studies. 60% lowers your heart disease if you nap.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Mm-hmm.
What? There's no
Mm-hmm.
medication that can bring it down that much except for napping. And I thought that was an amazing study. And it's between 3 times a week from 20 minutes to an hour. And they did that research with, again, a good amount of people. And so the results came back in so much. And the results came back, I think it was at first when they did it, they did men and women, and the results came back at 38%. Then they did just men, and men were 60%.
Wow.
So just for
Wow.
you guys out there, just do the research, find out about that. So besides us making sure our insides are good and making sure that our blood work is good and then we're healthy and we're training, get your sleep. And the reason why I brought that up is because, first of all, I wasn't sleeping. I was up at 2:30 this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but Johnny had to get up and get moving and grooving today. And
Yeah.
so are naps ever a possibility for you?
Absolutely. And you probably know when they are the best for me is on the weekends. So, if I can get the weekends like yesterday, like I just hung out the house, swam a little bit, played a little basketball, and I took naps yesterday. I slept probably about 4 to 6 hours, yesterday throughout the day. And I think that's the best thing you can do, right? You can, and I've read the studies on, it's awesome on the cardiovascular disease portion, but if you're missing sleep during the week, you can make up for that sleep. So it's not like when you lose sleep, it's gone forever. You can actually catch up on sleep if you do the naps and if you get the extra sleep. So at that point, like, that would help too. If you haven't got the sleep you needed during the week, try to sleep a little bit during the weekend. You will catch up, start feeling refreshed again, and try to stay back on course. But it's hard. It's definitely hard when you get responsibilities, you got things to do, and um, you're working and stuff like that. So I mean, it's just, it's easier said than done, I think, for some people. Including me myself. I tell people to sleep all the time. I say it's number one essential pillar of a healthy lifestyle. It really is. I believe
Yeah.
that true heartedly. Just the way you feel the next day and the way you perform the next day, and then adding to the benefit of these studies like cardiovascular disease, which is the number one killer, is heart disease. So at that point, like, hey, listen, if you can knock that down 60% by taking some naps, I'd probably try to, budget it in there, right? Well, what do you tell somebody? You tell somebody that's obese or overweight, hey, go home and take naps or go home and start exercising. So it's really, you really just got, I guess it's time management too, right?
Yeah.
To a certain extent. But it is
In
what
an
it is.
extreme, it wasn't an extreme. I'm set myself up. I've set myself up in life at this stage to where I can get my hour if I need it, and I
Right.
can incorporate that in saying, no, this is part of my training, so I can
Right.
recover better, I can be better, but also just down the line it does something. But it's only 3 days a week at 20 minutes was
Mhm.
was the start of the foundation, and then they said 3 hours. If you get more, great. But that's all it was. And I remember I was writing for Muscle and Fitness magazine, and I had my own column. And one of the things I said in there is that mostly because I've always been that early trainer, that 4 a.m., 5 a.m.
Mhm.
And I'd always love my naps because I'd get my workout in and I'd go back home and then I'd get a nap. And then I wake up and I'm like, I'm done with my foundation work. And now I'm showered
Mhm.
up, ready for the day, and there's nothing getting my way. And I got my nap in, I got my training in, I got my meals prepped, and now I can start and work the next 10, 12 hours.
Yeah.
And so it's cool to see now there's so much more research at this stage saying even more benefits than just staying youthful and young and healthy. So again, I hope you get some sleep later because I know today's been a tough one for
Yeah.
you.
Me too. Me too. But like I said, I get my training in too, so I got a full schedule ahead of me today. Still, but it's all good. That's what it is.
Can you explain something to me? Because you're one of these guys too. You have your own company, you're an entrepreneur, and you got
Mhm.
responsibilities, and you got more than just the company responsibilities. You're the man of the house, and you're taking care of a lot of things. More now
Yeah.
than probably in the last 10 years. You're
Yeah.
probably busier actually. Um,
Definitely.
how do you schedule your workouts? Because I know that it is. I don't want to say it's not priority. Priority is your family, and
Yeah.
I'm not saying that to say that, guys. He takes care of family. He's the nurturer, the take care of them, making sure that they're all good, and then he takes care of himself. So just FYI. So how do you
Yeah.
get your workouts in, and how do you still manage that over the
I
business,
gotta.
over everything?
Honestly, what I'm starting to do, obviously, Therese handles my whole schedule, so I can look in the calendar and see what it is now, which is nice. And at that point, like, I'll ask her, hey, what do we got going on tomorrow, just to verify. And then I'll be like, all right, well, I need to get my training in either in the morning or after work if I can do it, or maybe even during the day if I can get like an hour in between. So it's really sporadically. It's not every time, every day, exact same time, which I think is the best bet if you can do something. Wow, we're both down, huh? I mean, I think that basically, if you could train the exact same time every single day at that time, then I think that's
Yeah,
definitely beneficial to do. But at that point, you got to plan around it. So that's kind of what I do. And if I can dress like this, it's even easier for me to, when I'm ready to go, I just go. Otherwise I have to change, and it is what it is. But that's the best thing I do is I plan it during the day and follow through when you're going to go and make stick to it. Like I put it in the schedule now, so it's like a meeting. It's like a business meeting, so I have to go do it. It's not like, well, this is optional at this time. So when it's in there, and I'm going no matter what.
I love that you said that because it's those little things, and it's making the list, keeping your schedule, and then keeping your point on schedule. And I love that too. I had so much time this morning. I was taking notes and making my list for the day, and it's like, okay, stay true
Yeah,
to the list. If you don't write it down, you may be. And I'm very ADD. I'll give.
of course.
And Serge is great with this stuff. I'll give Serge a task, and within that task, I'll give him 7 more tasks. But he's a functioning genius, so he can
Multitask.
handle that stuff. Thanks, Serge. That being said, we got some peptides this week. What do we got going?
Sure. For this week, what we're doing is actually so This week we're doing a special, and we're doing our summer packages special, which comes out today. We've launched that. So summer package special. The summer package special can basically, it includes 3 different medications, and you don't have to get all 3. You can combine 2, and there's different package levels. So at that point, like, it's our Titan Complete, which is in the package, our ECA Stack Plus, and our Titan Fat Burning Cream. So you can pick all 3 of these and get a major discount. If you take all 3 of these, you can get, 2 of these in any combination. And at that point, it's even more discounted. So if you're looking for the summer packages and you're looking for something to combat by oral, by injection, by topical, you can get all 3 of these, save a little bit of money on it, and be able to hopefully lose that weight, get some good natural energy. You can use a Titan Fat Burning Cream in any situation or scenario. If you're going to go outside by the pool, whatever, if you're wearing a dress, whatever it is, or even guys, I mean, you can use it neck, arms, whatever you may be. ECA Stack Plus, great for weight loss, great for energy. I mean, it's a capsule. So, I mean, it's pretty simple and easy to do and easy to take. So that is the therapy of the week, per se. It's our summer package kickoff special.
All right, guys. So as long as you're on here, just make sure you got everything down here. And there's the number right there at the bottom as we do this. Hit over there and just kind of, if you can, just say, hey, Titan sent you. Titan sent you to Titan. Yep. So can we go over what is in the lotion?
Sure. So when we talk about the Titan Fat Burning Cream, this is something that you're going to apply onto the area that you want, right? And with this, the ingredients that are in this, they're not all over the counter. So there's different creams I've seen out there that they apply to themselves, and it burns their body, it irritates their body, as far as the skin and everything like that, which you won't get from this. But what it has in it, it has retinol, it has caffeine, it has phosphatidylcholine in it as well. I'm trying to think exactly what else we got in that bad boy. Retinol, phosphatidylcholine, caffeine, grapeseed oil, and I believe that's it. But the phosphatidylcholine and the retinol are skin tightening agents. So at that point, if you have any ripple effect going down the leg or cellulite per se, this is going to tighten and basically what it does is dehydrates the area of that skin. So it makes it nice and tight. So at that point, you got a good aesthetically pleasing looking area once you apply it.
Okay, so I can also talk about this. Retin-A is by far recommended from all dermatologists, just for the face. Retin-A is incredible. I know that when I do Retin-A, though, I got to stay cautious of the sun, and my skin is sensitive. My skin will go like it is flushed right now, just because I had a little bit of niacin and a little pump. So it's extreme, but I haven't tried that from you guys yet, and so I'm going to give Mona a hello and put on the list for this.
Yeah, because there's also one more other ingredient here, aminophyllene. So at that point, that's another great agent to dehydrate the area and make it look even better. So so it's packed. I mean, even Johan beans in there too as well. So there's a lot of good things for application as far as using that cream. And that was the other thing. So when I developed it, and this was years ago, it was because the competitors were coming to me and they were still using Preparation H. I was
Thiomucase, Preparation H. I'm that era. We're Preparation H. We're Preparation H. Yeah. Epsom salt baths, Preparation H.
I'm all about Epsom salt baths still, but Preparation H was, used back then when you were doing it, and it was used when I came around. I'm like, there's got to be something we can develop that'll be better than this. That's for this, right?
Why did they get rid of thiomucase then? What? Because thiomucase came in. Do you remember thiomucase? No. All right, just write that down. Thiomucase. It came in 80s, early 90s. It came from Europe, but it was here for a short period of time, and then it was pulled again. I guess it was, but it came from France, and it was definitely a next step up from Preparation H. And again, there's so many factors that Titan Medical has from the copper and everything, just for the skin. And so then adding this on, and then I want to say to anybody that's here, now this is just kind of common sense. When people go, oh, but a cream that does something, stop. Listen, if you're not wearing sunblock, you're damaging the skin. If you don't
Yeah.
wear lotion, your skin dries out. So if you want to stay youthful, I don't care what lotion you use. But for
Mhm.
you guys out there that always comes back and goes, "Oh, a lotion that does this," stop. It is the most basic thing in the world that's common sense to why these Hollywood actors still look as young as the skin
Absolutely.
is healthy. There's no plastic surgery that makes skin look good. There's no
That's right.
plastic surgery. That's cutting fat. That's putting in a jaw or whatever. But the collagen in the skin is protect it and lotion it.
Yep.
Now, if you do that to the rest of the body, what are you going to do? It's going to be better. And so, from my belief, I love lotion, and I think that's the one cool thing that I get to still pop the top in movies, and the skin is still that young skin
Yep.
around the separation of muscles.
Yep.
So
That's
I'm
key, man.
definitely I'm doing this, and then for you guys and girls out there, that's a big one, and then you can get that with the package that he
Absolutely.
has.
Absolutely. You know, you can get it by yourself, but you'll save money if you get two of them. So I mean, at that point, you get the fat burning cream and some ECAs ready to rock and roll. Or if you want the Titan Complete, you can do that. Or you can get all three, like I said. So you can combine them in any way, shape, or form you want. At that point, there's discounts in all the tiers. So whichever tier that you get, you'll be getting a huge discount on the package for sure, 100%.
Let's jump back for a second. I just got to ask, how's the car? Or
Car
do you
is
call
nice.
it, what do you call it? We don't call it a car. What do you call it? The rocket ship? What do you call? How's the rocket ship?
The rocket ship is good. The rocket ship is really good. I drove it up here today with Sharice and buzzing through traffic. And then people like, they're like, oh man, like I got out of the car and some people recognize me like, hey, where's the Titan at on that car? I'm like, it's coming this week. I'm dropping it off this week so it gets wrapped and stuff like that. So at that point, I'm like, yes, I cannot wait. Right.
Look at this thing. Look at that.
It's insane. It definitely is insane.
We had to put it back up on screen. I'm sorry,
No
man.
problem.
It's just,
no problem.
It's fun coming out there. And I love the fact that besides that, Titan this last time was okay with the cars and stuff.
Yeah.
Because he's still at that age where the noise kind of bugs him and stuff. And he's like, it was so cool. That being said, we appreciate the donation. Ground Turkey Fund. These guys know. I am on this 2-week dry out here. Thank you so much. And one of the big things we're doing is that old school 99% fat-free turkey with sodium. And so I'm going to do a sodium load into this one.
Wow.
Do you remember the old school contest prep with sodium loads?
I do.
It's a hit and miss.
Yeah, it's hard.
Hit and miss, like all of them. You know, you can prep, with low water or distilled water, which I used to do. But we're going to try the sodium load and see if I can even get that more crispy look.
Interesting. I can't wait to see this. This should be good.
We're trying to give it different looks. We're trying to do what we can.
I like it.
One of the things is I got to do this blood work for Titan Medical. Just because I'm talking about it and all that stuff doesn't mean I get to bypass any kind of thing or a hand me to. So just for you guys at home, I do my blood work through Titan Medical. And so I got to do that this next week. And so I am excited about getting it done and then seeing the results from that and see what we've been doing, especially with how the physique is looking right now and what we just did. So I appreciate you, Johnny, and I appreciate you sending me over. I do want to tell the fans, I am doing an extremely in-depth, is that right? Can you explain this? Because there's the basic blood work that you can get, which is perfect for everybody.
For sure. So our general in-depth blood testing, that's what we charge the $154 with the discount for males. Females $200, but that's a really in-depth blood panel that we run right off the bat. But we can always take it a step further. We can go from mild to wild, like I told you before, and we can start checking into a lot of different things that will be great information for you and your health, and maybe have you make some decisions about what you want to do to optimize some of these other areas possibly, or may need to. So right off the bat, we talk about vitamin D. Majority of people that test for vitamin D, even if you go out in the sun all the time, you don't lose lotion, you do use lotion. our bodies aren't converting it like it should. So most people are deficient with vitamin D, whether you like it or not. So that's something that you should definitely check for sure, 1,000,000%. And then if you need vitamin D, you should definitely substitute it, get it from some sort of supplementation, because there's negative health benefits that go with vitamin D. Talking about renal problems, so kidney problems, testosterone issues, all these couple different things, right? So that's one thing. The next thing, hemoglobin A1C. So this is a 3-month average of your sugar levels, your glucose levels, which everybody should be checking out right now because so many people are becoming diabetes type 2, becoming diabetic, having problems. And then once they become this, then they're up against all these other negative health issues and have to take more medications. So at that point, this is something that you should be checking, especially if you have it in your family health history. Your mom had it, your grandma had it, your father, your grandpa, whoever it was. This is something that you need to be aware of and have that on your list so you can be cautious of these things if you do come up or that you need to run the test. Next thing, glutathione. So we ran a glutathione test on you too as well. So glutathione is going to tell us where your glutathione levels are at. We know they get depleted throughout the way, and if you're substituting, it'll show that you're substituting it too as well. The branched chain amino acid test. So this is another big one that we ran before. This is something that will tell us.
That was my first one. Is that right? I did that the very first time out.
Yes. And this will tell you every amino acid in the body and where they lie, where they stand, every essential and non-essential one, all in one test. And you can tell if your supplementation's working, your eating is working, because I get some people say that I get all of my amino acids from food. I don't do any supplementation. That's awesome. If you can do that and lay that out, and then you can test and show, man, you're onto something then. And I think a lot of people would look at that diet if you had some proof. But you might be deficient or on the low end of some of these different things that could be helping your training, your recovery, your muscle growth, all these different things. So this is something you should look into. After that, I'm trying to think what else we ran on you. I mean,
we did a DHT.
DHT, dihydrotestosterone. That's another big one. So dihydrotestosterone. Why do people check for dihydrotestosterone? What is dihydrotestosterone? So dihydrotestosterone is something that goes and correlates right along with your testosterone levels, right? It actually helps, and it's correlated directly with your free testosterone levels specifically. So when DHT is at a normal level or a balanced level, then everything is good in the body, everything is working, and your hair is going to be able to be there. The biggest thing for people that are worried about hair loss is DHT levels rising and going too high. This could be maybe they're taking too much testosterone, maybe it's converting too much. So at that point, really need to look at that, guys and girls, because if you're predisposed to male pattern baldness on either side of the family and you're a male or female, that puts you at a higher risk for you to be there. And by taking this, what happens is blood loss to the scalp, basically, and it kills the follicle. The follicle dies and goes through that process, and then it's gone. So at that point, DHT is something that a lot of people check for. There are DHT derivatives that people take too as well. So one that you might hear a lot is Anavar. So this can cause you to thin out very quickly because it's a DHT derivative, faster than testosterone per se, that I've seen patients anyway. So something to look out for if you're taking anything extracurricular. You might want to check your DHT levels, especially if you have the issues on the family history side. But that's another big one for sure that we test for, and we test a lot.
I love that. For me, I know GGT isn't a huge one because we're already getting the AST and ALT. But for me, for some reason, and I've been this teenage athlete that I've always eaten high foods, high calories. Mm-hmm. And so my GGT was always interesting. It was above, but I did some really good research and went and saw the doctors, and they said it's a test that can be outside that normal range. But I was just really curious, and I've been doing glutathione, and on my last test, my GGT was a third of what it normally is. A third.
Awesome.
It dropped down to 45, and it's been up to 150. And I was like, wow. And so that was one of the things they were like, well, there's something going on here. Let's find out what it is. And so we did a scan fatty liver.
Mhm.
But then the doctor's like,
Mhm.
well, no, those would coincide. So if there was something like that, it would be over here. But we just did it to check it and really dive
Yeah,
into it the best I possibly can to see if there's anything else going on. And to see that,
absolutely.
like you said, a couple weeks of glutathione, maybe double dose,
Yep.
and boom. And it was like, I've never in 40 years. Because remember, the cool thing about my career is that I have blood tests of when I was young,
That's awesome.
because I was already doing it. I was already competing. I was already in that world as a teenager. And by the early 20s, I was always doing the tests back then, just
Mhm.
because of the fact of gladiators and shows. So it was cool. It was cool to see Johnny say something about glutathione. Man, I'm a believer. I'm a believer. How long should I um, do the glutathione? Can I take some months off now? I've been doing it for 3 months
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. I mean, you can definitely take some months off. If you want to do a maintenance dose, you can do once a week. You
Oh,
know,
really?
if
Just
you want
the one? What would the shot be once a week?
200 milligrams per ml, just the 1 ml. Just
Okay.
boom. Yeah, start of your week or at the end, whatever. I mean, middle. It doesn't really matter. I mean, you can just throw in the regimen whenever you can. You know, it's not something you have to be like every single day, unless you're trying to accomplish something, right? If you're trying to
Right,
bring
right.
down the liver and all that. So, but if it's not, like, hey, listen, if you just want to do a shot a week just for a maintenance shot, maybe, you know, you can do that. Or if you want to take some time off, you can do that too as well. There's nothing that's gonna be harmful for you. You're taking it off. You know, you just be a little bit better protected if maybe you're on it. That's it.
I would say for me, I'm going to do once a week and not take off because of the fact that I'm a depleted phase.
Yeah.
I'm dieted down, and then I'm going to be on sets here, rocking and rolling. And so the one thing I can't risk is it maybe help my immune system a bit and stay strong, like we
Yes.
discovered. So
Yes.
that's my take on it for everybody else out there that's doing this. Ready? Oh, get the logo. Yeah, he likes the Titan logo.
Oh yeah.
He's getting it. So for you guys out there, again, remember, this is me bringing Johnny on here for all of you guys to talk to him and ask him questions. But I have a legend staying in the house. A legend staying in the house, and this kid, this whippersnapper, just kind of took the throne today. His name is Austin Gunn, doing a 320. Oh, did they leave? Did they leave? I'm setting them up over here, and those guys even. All right, all right. Then I guess I'll bring in the old man, Billy Gunn, if he's still available to do this kind of stuff. But Billy Gunn is. Well, he left too, right? They're all leaving. So for you guys that don't know, I think everybody knows. I mean, Hall of Fame WWE wrestler Billy Gunn and his boys are here. They are throwing down at the Forum this Wednesday. And what is their title now? They're the interim champs.
Something champs of the world.
Yeah, yeah.
Heavyweight champs of the world.
But Johnny, you and me always talk about like the kids,
Yep.
and
Yep.
it's cool to see. It's cool to see Billy's. I guess I don't know how you say this. It's cool to see his genetics
Mhm.
used from his kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of kids I've known. A lot of these. I know the Arnolds, and I know the who are the great productive kids. I know all these guys that have the kids, and it's cool to see another parent that's basically been a kid his whole life go around and just beat up people for a living.
Yeah.
And his kids are great at it. And we were talking about genetics, and genetics is a great thing, but without the work,
Yeah.
the kids don't do anything.
Nope. You're right, man. That gets flushed down the toilet. How many people have had genetics on their side or gifts, you know, God-given gifts that you don't have, you know, and they get outworked, they get out hustled, and that's what it is. People they want it more, man. And whoever wants it the most is going to get it usually. I don't care.
And
Genetic-wise
these
or
two
not.
these two knuckleheads have so much fun. And I was telling Johnny before we started filming, we did a 3.5-hour chest workout.
Jeez.
Just knuckleheads.
I didn't do a chest workout. I don't know if it's going to be 3.5 hours, maybe an hour.
All right, we got a couple questions before he steps in here.
This is a really good statement from one of our trainers.
This is a good one.
My 25-year-old son had his blood work done at Titan Medical, and his testosterone was very low. Titan started him on testosterone blend, and he feels great.
Wow, I love that, Lori. Wow, that's awesome. Again, 25.
Yeah.
And it's low. Are the boys still here? Did they leave?
They left.
They left.
Yeah.
I would love them to talk about how they are doing the traveling and everything like that. So that's great. What can you explain what that blend is? And again, go into the 25. You know, I would assume, and you tell me better than this, most 25-year-olds go, dude, I'm doing great. Don't worry about me. I'm fine. I can sling it. And then you find out something like this. Can you explain that young 20-year-olds?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's more common than not anymore, Mike, if you can believe that or not. And when you talk about 25-year-old, then we start thinking about back when we were 25 years old. We probably felt weren't at your best almost 21 to 25. I mean, those were the I'm going 100 miles an hour and I didn't need anything at that point. Right. So, it's tough. These kids, I call them kids, but these young adult males are dealing with things that me and you never had to deal with. So at that point, so a couple of things could be affecting these younger kids. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist or anything like that, but the vaccination could affect them. I mean, there's studies coming out with these things now. Fertility rates are dropping. It's, because maybe they caught the virus. That's affected a lot of people too as well. But then we have to really talk about our food sources. What are we eating? What are we putting in our bodies? What are we applying to our bodies and putting in our bodies that we know that are damaging hormones? So there's a lot of different things out there that we intake or put on our bodies that have EDCs, endocrine disrupting chemicals. How are you doing today?
Doing good. I'm interested to hear all this stuff too.
Yeah. So, when we talk about these younger people, and their hormones, there's a lot of younger people out there that have not touched any other anabolic steroids, or they haven't done anything to mess with their hormone levels, but their hormone levels are all messed up, or they're very low or even deficient at their age.
Right.
So at that point, at 25 years old, you shouldn't feel like that. And if you are feeling like that and going through things like that, that's a horrible quality of life at such a young age.
John, what is some of the symptoms that you would think that would let them think that the hormones are messed up?
Specifically, so we'd have to talk about them being tired or lethargic. That's a big one. Their body not responding like it should to exercise or even diet. Their mind clarity, so they're not thinking like they should. They're having brain fog. Depression, of course. Yeah, that was the next one on my list. So you're not performing like you wanted to in the bedroom. Your erections are soft. You're not getting morning wood per se. That's a big sign.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things. I mean, as far as that goes, I mean, everything's off. Your motivation's not there. Things that you like to do before, you don't want to do anymore. And at that point,
it goes for men and women.
Men and women, absolutely. Absolutely. Hormones work the exact same way for men and women. We just have them at different levels. So all the symptoms, if you're low or deficient in these hormones, any specific one is going to cause the exact same problems. So at that point, usually it's testosterone that's really, really low in men and women. Or if a woman has too high of estrogen, that's another one we deal with. And when we talk about high levels of estrogen, we talk about possible cancer and all that. So yeah, that's another one that really needs to get fixed as far as for weight loss and everything like that. I mean, women are another issue, I guess, than men as far as that goes.
What is she said? There's a testosterone blend. I didn't hear what's actually in there. And can you say what is actually in that?
Sure. So I don't know specifically what testosterone he's on, but we offer cypionate, which is the most commonly prescribed testosterone ester that you're going to get, enanthate, which is a longer lasting one, propionate, which is the short acting one. And then we have a blend. We have a cypionate propionate, and I know we have a cypionate enanthate blend too as well. So it could be either one of those. I really don't know. But the benefit to having a blend, I would say, because I take a blend, is I have a propionate cypionate blend. and the propionate is fast acting. So when you take the injection, it releases immediately in the ester, and it's in and out of the body between 24 to 48 hours, right? But then I have the longer lasting cypionate that's in there that kicks in. And at that point, I'm even keel, but I get a boost, an even better boost on those days because the propionate on those days. If that makes any sense. So days I inject, really good workouts happen, really good ones. I'm not saying my other ones slack, but I get better ones because I'm boosted and ready to go. So it's pretty cool as far as that goes. But that's about I'm on. We have a tri-blend that has all three esters. So that's like the mecca, right? Cypionate, propionate, and anthate. So, you know, if you have all that, you have every ester, they release at different times. You're going to be up and staying up, you know.
Why are you guys all raising your hands for this shipment? I got Serge, I got Griff over here, and Jeff.
I'm texting the number right
He's
now.
texting the number right now going, I need this.
Yeah.
She says something here. She says motivation.
Yeah. He was very tired, depressed, and lacked motivation to do anything. These are very, very big red flags.
Yeah, I want to go into this, and I want somebody that's passionate to talk about this because of the fact that when the hormones are messed up, you may think that's how your brain's supposed to function or how you're thinking. You don't realize those emotions are messed up when your hormones are messed up. And you may be moody or you may be depressed and all that kind of stuff. And so I just want to bring in the great Billy Gunn here today and just
that's not me.
That's
Not this.
he has better shoulder. Come here, scoot in here, big dog.
I'm gonna sit next to
You're gonna
These
have
chairs
to.
are such a mess.
Sorry, it's low production here. Come
Yeah,
here,
no kidding.
come here, sunshine. Sit on my lap.
I don't want to sit that close to you.
We're gonna rub shoulders. I was big until he got here.
Well, that's only because I'm leaning more forward than he is.
Out angled.
Yeah, exactly. What's up?
What's going on, Billy? How you doing, man?
Good. What's going on?
Oh man, we're just having a great conversation here about testosterone levels and hormones and how they can affect people and their quality of life.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting.
Yeah. I came in right at the tri blend.
Yes. That's the best.
right at the tri
Can we get
blend.
that out? What's
That's
your
it.
address there?
You get 3 months. Yeah.
And try that.
The tri-blend, yeah. So that one's a popular one, you know. Some people don't want it though. So, you know, every average day person usually is just good with cypionate. But like, you know, some people they want different blends. More experienced people, more, you know, the more seasoned people that have been doing testosterone a lot longer, you know, they want to maybe start doing some blends or changing up that, you know, every so often. And it's not a bad thing to do per se, right? I mean, even if you go on just a dual blend, like a cypionate propionate, like I do, you know, I'll switch off to an enthate here or there. And, you know, it's just, I've been doing testosterone myself for 12 years now. So at that point, you know, after a couple of years, I'm like, all right, let me see if this works a little bit better than this. And it does in some cases. Some people tolerate cypionate a lot better than anthate, but some people tolerate an anthate a lot better and it works a lot better for them per se, right? They say like, I get more strength or I feel a lot better, you know, as far as the way I feel about myself. So, you know, it really is up to the person and everybody's different. So at that point, it's all about personalizing the regimen for them and making sure that they're at the right doses, following up with the blood test. Once they're dialed in and they stay continuous and consistent with the medications, they're good to go, man. And they're going to be rocking and rolling and getting to their goal.
That's real quick, just because it seems like the body's an amazing thing and it will adapt to anything. And
Absolutely.
So you just said a point that's very interesting to me that for them out there that maybe have been on the same regimen for a year or 2 years or 3 years, it seems to me just on common sense that you would want to switch it and give it something, a different delivery to boost that testosterone.
Sure.
By changing it. So your body goes, oh, wait, this is new and it's different. Yeah. And then mostly you just said, maybe this gets you a little stronger, which again, side effect, more weight, more stress to the body, more food calorie intake, more muscle, possibly, more body fat burning. So it's interesting. I never even, that's a great insight for me, Johnny. Again,
trust me, man, I'm all about it. You know, I want to be the best, right? So like I look for some of these different ways that, you know, somebody can better themselves. And if you take testosterone, you take the exact same testosterone, like let's say I took cypionate for 12 years. When I blood test, my levels aren't going to be any lower. right? It's still going to be effective as far as that goes. The body just starts getting used to that feeling of where it's at. So when you change it up, sometimes you get a little bit of different feeling per se, and that could help. Especially like I was saying, like if you're taking Cypionate, and you've been taking Cypionate for a long time, if you throw in the propionate at 90-10, so it's not that much, but it's just a little bit, and you'll feel that kick on those days you inject. So you're gonna have a little bit better performance or workout or whatever it is on those days. Probably feel a little bit better, more energy, a little bit more in tune. But it just carries on. So I mean, like I said, it really doesn't matter what testosterone blend you take, you're going to feel good. But, like I said, changing up sometimes could make a little bit of difference here or there for you. And that might be all the world of difference that you're looking for. So it really is up to the person and what works best for them.
I love it. This man has been, you were doing wrestling before WWE and stuff, but you've been in the ring being this savage for decades.
A little while.
A little while.
A little while. A little while.
We're over 4 decades, kid.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I forget my age sometimes.
4 decades. Wow.
Yeah. You were started late 80s, 90s,
Mm-hmm.
early
Late
90s.
80s. Yeah.
And so 80s, and they got 90s and 2000, 2010, 2020s, and now we're in 24. It's like, how do you keep motivated? And how are you? And I know this. I know you're more motivated, and I don't want to use the word aggressive, but we're like, there's no off. How do you keep doing that for decade after decade?
I don't know. I think it's just I think it's just in me somehow. I don't. It's hard for me to look at and nothing against these kids, because I have 2 of them. So I have 2 of them that work with me. So they have a little bit of it, but for me, it's hard for me to fathom that people don't strive to be better or to put that kind of work in. Like that doesn't, like it's not, I guess it's just not in my genetic buildup to
Half-ass it.
Like I don't. Yeah, I wish, like, because I've been asked this question before, like, how do you stay motivated? What do you do? Well, I just do. It's just I have to do it. Like it's a thing in me that I have to do. Whether it's traveling, clear across the country and have to go to the gym, I know that's a thing. Yeah, or my workout's 110%. No, but I still get it in. Like I don't make those kind of excuses like, hey, I've been traveling all day, I'm gonna go sit down and take it easy. That's just not a thing. I'm not built that way, and I don't know how people aren't the same way I am. Sometimes it drives me nuts, but luckily my kids aren't like that. They'll put the work in as well. But when you're asked that question, well, I don't need anything to keep me motivated because I'm just me.
So would this be the difference?
I'm me.
Passion over motivation. Because you wake up and we talked about we had this discussion last night, and the discussion was kind of the aspect of the individual that may be watching this is going, I'm listening in because I want to hear the trick. I want to hear the secret. There's one secret is why Billy Gunn is doing what he's doing at 60 years old. Damn. That has to be a trick, because first off, nobody else is doing that like this. Yeah. And so I think that's a mental excuse already, because I want you to say what you kind of told me.
Yeah, it's when you're, because I do signings and appearance, whatever. The
man travels a lot. A lot of people ask him questions. He's famous. We get that.
No. I'm just saying, like, it's not like these days for me. And when they see me, they just go, "Wow." They go, "How do I be you? How do I get like you? What training? How do I eat?" I said, I was telling him, to me, it seems easy. Like you just anybody can do it. Like I say this all the time, but he always goes, "That's not true." But I say, yes, you can do it. You can do it. Like, let's put genetics and what your, body type or whatever. But if you want to do something. All you have to do is put the work in and have the passion and the desire to do what you do. It's easier to go, hey, I want to be Mike O'Hearn. Okay, well, you're not going to. Because one, you don't have the discipline to eat like that. Two, you don't have the workout discipline. Plus, you don't have the 40 years of knowledge that he has. But is he willing to give it to you? Yeah, I'll give you all the knowledge you want. The problem is you're not going to take in any of it. You just want to hear me tell you how the easiest way for you to look like us is. And that's just not a thing. It's just not, that's not how it works. Plus it's the individual. It's what we do. This is what I do. I can't sit around and I can't just, when I'm in there with people that are half my age and stuff, I just have this thing that goes, yeah, you're not better than me. You can't keep, if I don't want you to keep up with me, you just can't. But I feel that's how I am. That's how my body makeup is. That's how my brain functions. That's how I don't settle for just being that guy over there.
But Johnny, that's the lifestyle we talk about.
Yes.
It's a Titan lifestyle. It's the way you
Yes.
live. It's the way he lives. It's the way that I live. Is that, guys, we have one shot.
That's it.
We're here one time. Why wouldn't you just try to be the ultimate you as you possibly can? And that's the point of it. And there's no secret to it. Right now, head over to Titan Medical, because John can make sure that your body's functioning perfectly. And that's the first start. And then the second start is talk to him. Stop asking us what the trick is.
Yeah.
Find out what he can do and what he can help you with. But the mind has to change first.
Absolutely.
And that's where the phone call comes in. And it's like sweat equity. Sure, you can come train with me, but it's like, what are you going to do to get through that front door? Are you going to start manning up? Are you going to start being committed? Are you going to start doing? Are you going to make the phone call over to Titan Medical and get started? He's such a humble cat, but man is a legend. And I was saying this last night, you got, Kevin Nash and Big Show and all these guys talking about it. And listen, there's elite and then there's the elite from the elite. So imagine the steps with all these guys that work their asses off. And then you get guys that even spike and are above that. And someone that's still doing it today is this man. And doing it, you look better today than you did 30 years ago.
100%. Yeah, but then again, my knowledge of what I do keeps going forward. It never
But that
stays
helps
stagnant.
them.
Yeah, of course.
Because
Yeah.
every 25 or
don't-
30-year-old out here that thinks, I'm done, I can't gain muscle. Here's a guy that's 60. You guys can see how much bigger this man is than me. He's a large individual with great shape. I always thought he was 6 foot. I go, he's too symmetrical. He looks too complete. Well, he's maybe 6 foot. And then I meet him, I'm like this. I'm like, how did they make you? How did the government make you? You were created.
Yeah, but and I feel where y'all come in is, yes, do I have this drive and everything? Yeah, but does everything in my body function the way it should? Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does, because I make sure of that, because I can't.
Wait, that can't be. You're 60.
Yes.
So you can't. Your joints are all broken. You're old. You can't squat, work out. You can't have muscle. You can't.
That's a lie. That's a lie. That's false. That's a false those are where the excuses and why I can't do it. Like, hey, I'm old, I can't squat. Hey, I feel really bad, so I can't go to the gym. That's a lie, because I dare anybody just to jump in my skin and feel how I feel every morning when I get up. I promise you, it's not all roses inside. But to do what I do and to function at this kind of high level, everything inside, even though the outside looks good, you go, hey, look great. Yeah, but just the insides, those have to be functioning right as well. And that's where I know for a fact that's where you guys come in to make sure that, because I function at a high level, everything inside of me has to function as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
100%.
Listen, I think honestly, we were talking about, that we're made up, like it's the way that we were wired. right? I don't care if you're down. Like even before I had Titan, I had low testosterone, right? And I would still get up, do what I had to do, go train, do all these different things because that's just the way I was wired, I guess. But you know, when you start getting those levels back to where they do, and like you're saying, you're all optimal on the inside and the outside, you're going to perform even better and do even better. So it's just great. And I mean, I got to give a big shout out to you, man. You know, people don't understand the abuse that wrestlers get. I mean, dude, they get hammered. I mean, trust me, I know a couple of us now. So I mean, it's like big shout out to you doing it at 60 years old, man. Looking the way you're doing. I mean, that's setting the bar high for a lot of people out there. You and Mike are doing
bar
great
high
things.
for 20-year-olds.
That's what I'm saying.
Hey, Robbie Robinson looks good for 80. Shut up. He looks good for 20.
Period.
Yeah.
I didn't say an age. I'm just saying period.
Yeah. And it's like they go, "Wow, you look great for your." Shut up. He looks better than every wrestler that's on TV right now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Put him out
It's
there next to
crazy,
these guys.
So you know, it's good. It's great to see things like this, and it should be should be a motivator for people out there that don't have the motivation per se. They should. But if they see somebody like you or Mike per se, and like, hey, these guys are like 20 years older than me or 30 years older than me, that means get your ass up and go do some work. I mean, I agree with you. You know, with the younger generation, man, it's all instant gratification. They want everything handed to them. They're not willing to put in the work. Even when we talk about professional sports and load management, like what is load management? Like, no, you go out and you play every damn game you can play, and that's it. You know, unless you're hurt or something's wrong. There's not, I'm going to play this much. I'm playing too much. I mean, you know, basketball and baseball years ago, this would never went down like that. I mean, I seen a meme from Nolan Ryan. He was like 3 to 4 pitchers need to throw a no hitter when I could just throw one myself. Yeah. So it's crazy. You know, it's nuts.
For you guys out there, I do want to make a couple things clear, and I know he's not going to say it. Johnny's right. First off, I'm pretty plush. And one of the biggest decisions of me as a youngster, when I had the opportunity to go to WWE or stay as an American Gladiator, one of the biggest things that scared me is I love, and I think everybody can agree, I don't think there's a person alive that loves working out more than I do. Mm-hmm. And the one thing Gladiators allowed me to do is stay home, do a show, kick some ass, but also not travel. The road that these guys are on and the traveling that they do, let's just skip out how all of us travel. Yeah. But these guys are monsters. And so it's even worse fitting on planes and traveling in hotel rooms. So there is a beat up to the body just off that. And then there's in the ring. And it's also, he's got a bigger position where he's at. It's not only is he performing, but he's helping with production of the shows and trying to keep attitudes in check and story. He's a plethora of things that he has to do there. And again, so there's a lot of things banging this man, and he's still getting to the gym. He's still getting that foundation work in. And you've had a bumpy, it's been 2 years now or so.
Almost 3
years where he went through something. And at the same time you were going through that, if I'm correct, I was prepping you for a bodybuilding show, your first show.
Where my test levels were negative.
Yeah. So go for it. Explain this. This is for you guys that need a kick in the ass. This is going to be the ultimate kick in the ass to go when you're feeling sorry for yourself. Think about what this man went through and did. Go for it.
Yeah. So I had prostate cancer, and I had it in all 13 cells in my system, but didn't know it. And I was 8 weeks out from him and my wife talking me into doing a bodybuilding show for some ungodly reason, which it's always like, I've always talked to him about it, but I figured, you know, that's a lot of work. But I didn't even know the work that it was at the time. It was just in my, you know, what I thought the work was, which I figured I could do it, but I didn't want, like, I'm not a dieter. I'm not really much on a diet person. I eat right. I eat kind of right, but I'm not a diet. And when you do that, and I'm the kind of person, of course, as you probably can tell, is when I go like 100%. So like I was I was a little bit out of the thing and found out I had that. So I did that cryo and froze it all and it went away. But for the, year, I couldn't do TRT or anything because of what it is, about that.
Absolutely.
So we did my test levels, and I think they were like the doctor had said, well, yeah, I think they're negative. I don't even think they're registering right now. And to function like that and to know how I was functioning, you talk about a struggle to do anything. I mean, it was a struggle to open my eyes. It was a struggle to walk. It was, it was, if I never, like, I'm okay if that never happens to me again.
I bet.
So yeah, that was a little rough, but it's, it's what you do. Like you put it in front of me, you just got to walk through it. I don't, and it's not that I'm saying that it's just me, but it's just a thing. It's happening right now. Right. And I guess it's just the person, you do with it what you want. Like I could let it, quit everything and do this. And I went, yeah, I'm not quitting. Like, that's not a thing. Like, what does that mean? So you push through it and you get past it. And now I'm past it. I'm good. Everything's good. And, and that's what happens when you push through and you do what you're supposed to do. You will always come out better on the other side. So, but
I agree.
It was tough. Yeah, a little rough. Yeah,
a
little rough.
Yeah.
But I wanted you guys to hear that just because he didn't do it when he was in his 20s or 30s. He did that 3 years ago when he was 57 years old.
Yeah.
Still competed. And the point of competition is, like he said, it was something he did not foresee, and it was harder than he even assumed. But he still blasted it when he made the commitment. And all I think at the end of the day is when we say, is there a trick? Is there something? Yeah, it's you committing to yourself saying, I don't care. I'm going forward. I'm not going to stop this time. This is going to be the one time I get my health on point. I get the body where it needs to be. And then whatever your goal is when it comes to the body, get the weight off or put the muscle on or whatever. I want to play with my kids basketball. Whatever that movement is, it's available to you. But it's at the end of the day, it's like he says, it's not in him to quit. It's not, and I like those mentalities. And I think everybody knows me long enough to see that this in the Titan Castle, there is such I guess you would say, just individuals that are understanding that we got one life. Let's make the most of it. Let's crush this.
Yeah.
And let's be beasts. Yeah. And it means you're the team captain here. You run Titan Medical.
I do.
But the cool thing I like about that is that you guys are so supportive and set you guys people up and really are there for the phone calls, the talks after that. Because I know that he and I sent him over to a place and he didn't have the best of experiences.
Yeah.
It was terrible, actually.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
And these places can mess you up. As easy as they can help you, they can take you the other route when they're hungry for the money. Yep.
Not doing right by people. Yeah, you'll definitely set yourself up for failure real quick, especially in this business for sure. It's just crazy. Some of the different stories and some of the different things out there. So yeah, if you've went to somewhere else and you haven't had a good experience, I guarantee Titan Medical Center will be a lot different, a 180 from what you've experienced anywhere else, guaranteed. People ask me all the time, who's your competition? I got asked that this weekend. And I honestly had to say, I don't think I have any competition. There's people that do testosterone replacement, all that, but we do everything, and we set ourselves apart by patient service and patient care and some of the different therapies that we have and nobody else has. So at that point, if you want to be part of Titan family, we're here to take care of you like that too as well. So I mean, that's what it's all about.
I'm trying to be politically correct here, but
why?
Because of the fact that I can say it, you don't have to agree with me, but there's something about me hearing advice from someone. And I just saw this the other day. If you don't like the individual, you're not going to like their advice from the start.
Right.
And that's an interesting side. And if you do like the individual, you'll possibly listen to their suggestion.
Yep.
Well, it goes a step further, I think, when for me, if I see the multimillionaire on stage talking about how he made his money, but he's 300 pounds, sloppy and out of shape, and he's looks older than me, and he's 27. It's like there's something that's missing in your equation to make millions, because I don't want to give up my life and my health to make the millions.
Right.
And when I look at you and how you're living your life and how you run this company, but you're somebody that I look at and I go, dude, you look great. You pop the top all the time. He's a Florida boy, so he's at every
ready.
party there. I go,
So am I.
Yeah.
Born and raised.
ready.
So am I.
So but he's at every pool party after working 5 days a week, 100 hours a week, and then he's just popping the top again. And it's like, but see, now if you're going to give me advice, you're telling me also how you can live healthy into your 40s and 50s, look good, and not hurt yourself and not hurt your body.
Right.
Where a lot of the other companies are the big juice head guy, and it's like, well, okay, that's not appealing to me. Or they're the very beta, small, fragile looking guy going, well, you're telling us how to optimize your health, but you're frail and you're so young.
Yeah.
So
I wasn't for that either.
I appreciate you living the lifestyle.
Of course. I mean,
so for you guys out there, again, follow his personal page. You don't really talk much about your personal page, but if you follow this guy makes me tired watching his page.
I know originally when I made the page, it was like I was going to be incognito. Now it's like, all right, people are starting to follow it. So I'm like, all right, I'll start really putting on there. I just put some of the different stuff that we do, man. I like to be active. I mean, even with the company, we do a lot of different events, a lot of charity events, a lot of these different things. And like we said, we have one life to live, right? So I want to go out and experience some of these different things. I'm not just going to sit home all day, every day after work. And I work every single day. So at that point, like even weekends, I'm working. So, it just is what it is. But I mean, we got a 14-year-old. He's on summer vacation. I want to go spend time with him, do some cool things with him, and that's it. I want to, get him more progression in what he's doing, more training, eating better, doing his different like little events he wants to do. Like, he wants to, go to a camp and be a trainer there for baseball and stuff like that, which is awesome. But at that point, like I want to live a balanced life too. Like it's not just all hardcore. I eat great. And that's how I like to eat. I eat very clean usually. But listen, if I want to have a hamburger here or there, I'm going to be good to go and to do that because stay ready. So stay ready. I'll be ready.
Never have a cheat day with you again. I go over there and I'm like dieted down and I'm like, okay, now I get my cheat day, right? And he's still just doing chicken and steak and salmon.
Oh yeah, you guys are no fun.
No.
I promise
I
you.
want a cheat day. I want
me and Mona have had some pretty good cheat meals. So I'm not in that realm at all. I will. I mean, I'm not afraid to go off the rails a little bit.
Yeah, no, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? Because I mean, you're putting in all this work, right?
Yeah.
Your diet's pretty good most of the time. So that's what I'm saying. I mean, even if somebody wants to have an alcoholic drink here or there, I know Mike doesn't drink, it hasn't, but if somebody wants to have a glass of champagne or they want to have a shot with their friends or, a glass of whiskey or, tequila, whatever the hell it is, then they can do that, right? As long as they're not going overboard, they're not drinking too much alcohol, they're not getting out of control. Like that's I think, it's all about having balance too and not driving yourself crazy. And I think a normal person couldn't probably eat the diet that I eat every single day because I eat the exact same thing every single day and I have for years. And a lot of people can't do that. They can't do it. My stuff's really bland. Yeah. They're like, oh, I need some flavor. My palate's more advanced than this. I'm like, I totally understand. But at least stay in the realm of eating somewhat clean majority of the time. And then those times
you don't have that discipline. You got to stay because like I get home from this workout, 3.5 hour workout, and I'm on tuna, because I'm drying out in this turkey. Yep. And these guys, Mona fixes them the sweetest eggs, bread, bacon, and everything.
Oh yeah.
I'm like,
nice.
Yeah.
But
nice.
But because of the lifestyle he lives and because how you stay 90% of the time perfect, it's golden. And this guy's metabolism it's like him and Mona. These guys could eat
burning,
and they just burn.
Man.
And again,
that's awesome.
Yeah,
goes back to him checking his blood work and making sure everything's good there, making sure that he's getting optimized to live the very best life.
Yeah.
But again, for everybody that's watching this, you got a Hall of Fame big daddy wrestler here that's in crazy shape, doing sick workouts with guys a quarter your age. You know,
yeah, but that's a fun. That's the fun
fun.
part. It's the
Yeah.
battle, right? It's the battle.
Yep.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we had a good one today with my kids and him, and that's and that's my main. Like we all need help once in a while to kind of get us. And I when I start getting in there, my wife is the first to go, "Hey, you have to go away," because I get really into my head. So we all once in a while, and this is my place to get back on track. You know what I mean? It's not that I go off the rails or nothing. It's just you feel like something's missing, and you come out here and we have fun and we battle and we just I'm not touching the weights he touches, but it's what we do back and forth, and it's now you're into the workouts like you've never been into it, and that carries on. Now that carries me till I come out here again, or me and my kids. I train with my kids a lot, and we kind of do the same thing, and it makes training fun. Not that training isn't fun, but you will have those days. Like we will, no matter how perfect it sounds like I am not. So, you get in those lulls in your training, but I'm not scared I know what I need. Like I've done this long enough. I know what I need to get through this and to push on. And it's just to go train with him. And it's to get like, hey, get back on track and we're all good. And then, we're off to the races again. So it's not, but those are the kinds of things that we do. Like when we need help with something, when we don't, you have to ask questions to figure out what's wrong. I don't always know what's wrong. Most of the times I do, because I've kind of figured it out, and you fix it.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
It's that simple. You fix it.
Yeah, man. I'm all about that. Adapt and overcome, basically, in any situation you're in, man, in scenario. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, it's all about being consistent. Like you said, not every day you're gonna feel like, oh man, I want to go do this. But no, you go and you do it, right? And you'll feel better afterwards once you've done it. You're like, damn, I'm glad I went and did this today, right? And you get done, and like, man, it's another day I added on there. It's another day I'm walking towards my goal and progression. So, I'm all about that, man. It's just it's awesome. Like I said, it keeps me motivated every day. Even when I talk to Mike, it motivates me every day, and I'm already motivated. Yeah. So it's just it's just adding just a little bit more, hitting that nitrous button, like let's go. So it's cool. I'm ready. I'm telling you have no idea.
There's a question for you.
Sure. How do you feel about using HCG or Clomid to boost testosterone in men over 50? Thank you all for your insights. All right. So, I mean, listen, HCG and Clomid are good to use. They will bring up testosterone levels. I think that HCG works a little bit better than Clomid does as far as feeling better symptom-wise. There's a lot of people that take Clomid and not in clomiphene, but in Clomid. And there's bad side effects that can come along with Clomid. Like I took Clomid just to try it out, just to see, hey, listen, how does a patient going to react? How's it going to boost my numbers? It took my numbers up to about 700, and it gave me like really deep, dark thoughts. Right. And then I knew right away, I was like, this is medication. I've never felt like this before. So I was on it for a month. I was like, all right, I'm done. And I went back on testosterone. I was like, whew. But I took just HCG by itself too, as well. About the same, 700, 750, except libido's a lot better on HCG. And mental, you feel better, I guess, right? Like that sense of self. A lot of people, you won't feel that with clomiphene. You might have the numbers on paper, but you don't have the symptoms relief that you would get with HCG, and that's the only difference.
If I'm correct, these are usually used for someone that is trying to get a sperm quality.
Sure.
There's usually a lot of guys over their 35s or 40s when their sperm isn't, I guess, fast swimmers. I'm not sure what the correlation, but they
what these do is these ignite. First, HCG mimics the LH, the luteinizing hormone in the body, right? Where Clomid does the FSH and LH and stimulates on completely. Now, what these things do in guys and girls, because these used for fertility protocols, and we use these for add-back therapy with testosterone patients.
What's
what
that
they
mean?
do is,
What's that word?
so add-back therapy we use along with testosterone. So when you take testosterone from an outside source, whether it's a cream, an injection, gel, sublingual troche, your body recognizes that it's got an outside source of testosterone coming in the body. There's a brain that goes, there's a signal that goes from your brain down to your testicles as a guy and down to the ovaries as a female. And when it detects this outside source of testosterone, it shuts it down. That signal goes off, and it tells the testes or the ovaries, hey, listen, you can go on vacation. We already got what we need. And that's why your testicles start shrinking. They're starting to go through atrophy. So they're not on. So your semen production is basically cut. And your testosterone production is cut at that point too, because it's not turned on. So what happens is these drugs turn those things back on. So with a guy that takes testosterone through us, we don't want his testicles to shrink. We don't want him to have low semen production. We don't want him to have shrinkage. So we give them this along with testosterone to make sure natural production still stays on, even if it's low, and the testes are still producing semen, because there's still a lot of people that want to get their significant other pregnant. And you have the older guys that say, I don't want to get nobody else pregnant no more. I don't need it. Well, we still don't want you to have the negative side effects of your testicles shrinking and a low semen production. Just it's bad. And tightness of the testicle is not fun either. So
No, keep going. Sorry.
these two medications, they're given to female or male patients, fertility protocols. But what they do is they both stimulate testosterone, and they both increase egg production and semen production. So they can't, there's companies out there right now. There's these hedge fund companies that they're funded, and they're just using clomiphene for testosterone levels. And they're saying, take testosterone, get testosterone without a needle. And that's all this is. So it would boost them per se, right? So like if somebody comes to us and they have low testosterone levels and they say, John, I absolutely do not want to take testosterone. I don't want to take it in a needle. I don't want to take it in a cream. What else can I do?
Right.
So we put them on a more natural way to boost it, and it would be through HCG or in clomiphene. But usually they start feeling a little bit better, and they're like, all right, I really want to feel good. And then when they go on testosterone, like, oh, this is what I was missing here. Okay, I like this. I'm glad I switched to this. So, that's how it goes. I mean, so there are guys out there that
here. John is the man. So I'd go off of his recommendation here. My recommendation is, I don't know what your blood work is at. Get your blood work done.
That's
and if you're in the tanker, if you're 200 or something like that, or wherever it is, and then you go, well, let me bump it to 250, 300 with the HCG or Clomid. The point of it, well, you're still not even close to where you were or what you could feel like. So that's, I think that's the decision that you make there, Mark, at the end of the day, that get your blood work done. And again, right now, you guys call over there, and Johnny will give you a Titan special. Get that blood work done. I think is it 150 if they call over today?
I'll tell you what, if they say Michael Hearn today, it'll be 130, and nobody else gets that special. So we had a Memorial Day special all last week. So
you said double it. If they say Michael Hearn, it's double 260. If they say Billy Gunn, he gets that.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, you say Billy Gunn or Michael Hearn today, you'll get it for 130. How's that? Across the board, my guys.
Yeah, but Mark, get it tested, and then you can have that question again, because I think you're going hypotheticals, and really can't have a hypothetical until you know.
Yeah, he just said thank you. I've contacted Titan Medical and getting a consultation set up. Thank you all. That's awesome, Mark.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Definitely going to help.
So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this question, just because I don't know. Like, this was just new to me as well. So just say for conversation's sake, how it will each, like the HCH or the Clomid, how much of a bump do you get out of that? You know what I mean? So if you're at 100 and I start taking HCH, whatever.
Yeah, HCG or in clomiphene is probably going to bump you like 500 or 600 points.
Okay.
The question it depends. On clomiphene, it's going to depend on what the dose is, a milligram that is. I would usually say, 50 milligrams. 50 milligrams of clomiphene is usually what the protocol is every single day. And then you go every other day, whatever. But like HCG every other day too as well, or you can do that every day. But usually that's what we see. We usually see a 500 or 600 bump. Which it's decent, right? It's decent for somebody that says, all right, like I just don't want to do this. And they don't even want to do testosterone. They don't want to even mess with their hormones. They didn't think they had a problem, but now they see a problem. And they're like, well, and the provider's like, hey, listen, like you're at like 200, like you're clinically deficient. you really need this. This isn't something like just to optimize you, but you really do need this. So at that point, then like, all right, well, what are my options? And they'll kind of go over those options. Majority of people do go right to testosterone, whether it's sublingual as a guy's because they don't want to do an injection, or it's a cream for a female. Usually that's right off the bat, you know, but there are people out there that they do, like, just because testosterone's had such a bad stigma about it for so long. And now people are starting to realize, oh, I tell people all the time because they're like, oh, you sell steroids. I'm like, oh, you mean the hormones that are inside your body that make your body work that everybody has? Yeah, that's what I do. So, you know, there's a lot of re-education, I guess, that we're doing to the public, but they're starting to catch on. And at that point, people are starting to make aware that, listen, if I need this, then I need this. And then when they start feeling better, it's over with. It's over with. So
yeah,
that's,
I think
that's
the
really
last
what's
time I was here, me and Mike had that same conversation. Like, do you like, and I think it's just information. It's the right information about testosterone. Because I had asked him, I said, do you feel like if you're on that, you're on the gas, or you're on, you know, you're taking steroids or whatever?
right.
And yeah. But it's, to me, like, I don't think that. I think
No.
like you do. Like, it's,
Yeah.
but I'm not ignorant either when
No.
it comes to, you know, because I think it's most people outside of the work working out. Okay, you need it.
Here's the problem. Visually, if you're a big person, there's no way you're just doing HRT or TRT,
Yeah.
as they
Yes.
say today,
Yeah.
which is funny because, you know, you kind of go back to like when I was, it's like,
Yes.
you're a big man. No way you walk next to these guys. He walks next to any bodybuilder in the world.
Mhm.
It makes him look small. And so there's no way this small guy that wins bodybuilding shows is on more stuff than this guy.
Right.
When it's the complete opposite. He's just back to a
Exactly.
regular healthy dose, and he's 60 and an absolute savage. So for you guys out
Yeah.
there, if you're worried about, is that kind of what you're saying as well?
I think that's
society.
that's what drives me. Hence why I don't post anything, because I'm
Yeah.
so overhearing that. Like,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's to a point where it just really drives, you know, so you want to post stuff on social media to have fun, and you're doing stuff in the gym, and it's just one after another. And it's just, to me, it's just ignorance, right? It's the lack of what, like, back in the day or whatever, you know, no matter what drug it is, no matter what you do, somebody somewhere has taken abuse of it, and it's happened everywhere, right? It's the same. Like, why don't we not sell, you know, alcohol anymore? That's way worse than any of that stuff. But we all function on the right dose. It's, you know what I mean? I think it's done right. It's what your body needs. Your body produces it. When you get older, it doesn't produce it. I need my body to run right, so I need to put it in there.
Absolutely. It's just like this, right? So there's a reference range for males, and LabCorp's reference range is 264 to 916. It's a huge range. If your testosterone is within that range, it's normal. I don't care if you get it from an outside source or not. It'd be just like somebody's cholesterol being off and them having to take cholesterol medication to get back within range. There's a reason you do it. Now, if it's a 21-year-old who's already got a 900 testosterone, I'm going to tell you, do not take testosterone. If you're a guy and you're at 300 and you're having all these symptoms, I'm going to tell you, hey, that's probably going to be the route to go. Right? It's just, it's just common sense.
I'm glad it makes you just as mad as it makes me.
Makes me mad, but I'm fired up about it. And I just try to educate.
Yeah.
Yes.
You guys just killed this.
Oh.
You killed it, because that's the truth of it. It's, you guys are you're trying to explain to everybody out there that it isn't, it's just your normal cat. You're just out there, you're doing the work, and you're trying to educate them. Yeah, it's cruel. I want to ask one quick question before we let you go. Sorry.
No.
I messaged you that Jeff, the supplement that DDS is doing. Okay. What was the name of it? Proviron. Have you heard of Proviron?
Sure, heard of Proviron. So Proviron it's usually not even prescribed in the United States anymore. But Proviron's cousin is the one, and this frees up free testosterone in the body.
Right. That was this guy that we know who's seasoned. we had a nice discussion, but he was talking about he's working with another one of these coaches and stuff. And these coaches nowadays are
Pharmacology.
pharmacologists. They're
I
not
know.
trainers. And
I
so
know.
the point was, which I do like this part of it because he is older, that he's taking half the amount of stuff. Now, again, this isn't about Titan Medical. It's not about anything. This is me just talking to you guys that are out there. There may be in a gym thinking about doing something. There's questions like this that you can ask this man and say,
Yes.
now this guy's going to take half the amount of stuff and it will work just as well because he's adding in something that helps free up the free testosterone. Am I understanding
Yes.
that correctly?
So, yes, 100%. You know, but when you start messing with like Proviron or these other medications that I can mention on here, the only bad thing about it is yes, it will free up your free testosterone. But the bad thing is it could affect total testosterone levels. And I always put that out there for people. So that's very transparent. Like, I'm not talking about it crashing the levels, but coming down maybe 100 or 200 points. I've seen it happen on a lot of blood tests. Usually what happens is, and the way you can tell right away is if you do a blood test and you do a free and total testosterone, and let's say you do an SHBG test, the one test we were talking about, sexual hemoglobin binding globulin test. You
And
do
we're doing
test-
that on my next one, right?
Yes. And if that's
what
high,
you said.
your free testosterone is going to be low, guaranteed. That means that your testosterone is all bound up and it's not free. So it's not getting utilized in the body. So you really want to free it up. And that's where some of these guys were taking Proviron and such. And at that point, that does free up testosterone. Now, if you're on testosterone replacement therapy, your free testosterone can still get bound up. And that is really when you maximize your testosterone levels with Proviron or such. You take that and you take it and you're having testosterone, you're going to be balls to the wall and everything's going to be utilized, everything in your reservoir, everything that's through your body. So, yeah, I mean, you could take it, but
Hold that thought for a second because it sounds like this is something that's not prescribed here. So this sounds like a little something that I don't want people to jump on or go into.
yes.
Is there something else that would help free up the free testosterone that wouldn't cause? I don't care about a drop in testosterone because it seems like if the gas line of what your body can use is opened,
Right.
then I'd rather have a 400 number than a 1500 number. I'm
Yes.
sorry. I know we got to let you go, but
No.
is there
So,
something
no.
else?
So no, let me tell you about this drug. So there is definitely a drug out there, and it's a drug that we prescribe. I apologize. So the drug is called Danazol. Danazol was originally an aromatase inhibitor. And aromatase inhibitors were made for breast cancer patients originally, female and male. But the aromatase inhibitors are given to people that are on testosterone too, right? But Danazol doesn't work very well with blocking testosterone. So it's not a good aromatase inhibitor. But what it is good for is freeing up free testosterone. This will free up their testosterone. This is legally prescribed in the United States, and it works wonders. You take it the first time, and your free testosterone is going to be let loose. You'll get erections just, randomly. That's how good it works.
So can I just
I'm not
get
joking around.
my UPS
Yeah.
number
Hey, can you
is
yeah. Can you send
So, I mean,
that
yeah,
to
so,
me
I mean,
right now?
This is what somebody should go for. Proviron, definitely not. Like I said, that's like an old one that a lot of old bodybuilders used to use, and it's not prescribed here. Danazol is not a lot of people talk about Danazol. They don't really know about Danazol.
Why
They've been
would
talking
that
about this
be?
like 9 years. I don't know. So what happened in like our industry is like, a couple of us, like, we came out, and then like there's like there's a group called A4M, right? And it's American Academy of Anti-Aging. I'm a part of this. I've been a part of this forever. But what happens is some of us guys go there and we tell them the protocols, and the protocols go out, and then those doctors are in seminars, and then every doctor that wants to get into this goes to these seminars and they copy these protocols. So they're cookie cutter. That's why majority of places you go to are cookie cutter, because these are said in a seminar out in public, and every doctor that's trying to make more revenue and trying to open one of these, they write down that protocol, and then that's what they prescribe. Some of the places don't even go by what the doctor prescribes, and they call the pharmacist, and they let the pharmacist read the blood, and they let the pharmacist prescribe what should be there, which I would never do in a million years. I've seen some of the pharmacists prescribe the doses. I'm like, you're crazy, especially for women. Guys are one thing, right? Because usually for us, listen, If we get a little acne, it is what it is, a little hair loss, I think we can take that. You know, we mess with our erections, you're gonna have problems. Mess with our, you know, the way we feel strength wise, you're gonna have problems. But for females, oh, they gain any weight, they're bloated, they have any acne, and everything's going wrong, and you're gonna be up creek without a paddle. And at that point, you're gonna be like, oh my God, what can I do to extinguish this situation because it's on fire? So, you know, it's just you really got to know who's doing your protocols and regimens too, to make sure they're on track. And you won't know this as an innocent bystanding patient. Who knows this? It's somebody that's in my industry that knows what's behind the curtain. And a lot of people just are unsuspecting because they have no idea. And if they grew up like we grew up, they have blind faith in a medical provider to do the right thing. I think a lot of people open their eyes to that now, like, hey, I'm not just going to trust what you say possibly, but man, that sucks too. I mean, that's what you're going there for. You're paying them for, you know, they're supposed to be doing this professionally and doing the right thing by you. And sometimes that doesn't happen.
Let's finish up with this. This is a great one. Our guy came back, Mark here. His testosterone was a 632, which is, I think, great
okay.
for 55 years old. I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
But then it goes back to the point of what he was saying, that his free is, I think, yeah. What's the low? 7 is low, isn't it? 8 is low.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's below that level.
there.
So he's got a great testosterone level, and this is a lot like Clark Bartram, who's you know, at 1,000, but then the free is at 6 or 7. So he's doesn't seem to be using any of it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what is
With
this?
632, you know, 632, it's decent. It's decent for his age for sure. You know, with the 654 and the low end of the free, that's a problem. Now, this is what you're at naturally right now, 632 and a 6.54. I mean, if that's the case at 8% body fat, you're doing pretty good. But the free testosterone obviously want to free up. So I mean, there's the choice, right?
Yeah.
What we can do here. So that's when we offer the patient the choice. We tell them, you know, the good and possibly the bad. I mean, you know, there's always things that you want to tell the patient and be transparent about. So I like us to be transparent with people. But let's say the total does go down a little bit and you're on Danazol and your free testosterone goes up and you're starting to feel a lot better. Well, I don't think we did a disservice to you at all by you feeling better by that. And if it's went down low enough to, like, let's say 400, then at that point we could go on testosterone and go that route too. And usually if your testosterone level is low like that, usually when you go on testosterone, that free will bump right up, more than likely.
There we go. Johnny, thanks so much for hanging today, my man.
Of course, man. It's been my
There's like
pleasure,
10
guys.
minutes in this thing where you guys got heated, and I absolutely loved. So thank you, man. I know that we went way over. We hogged you up.
Oh,
So
no.
to all your
I'm
employees,
good.
sorry about that.
No, man, I'm good, man. I'm definitely good. I'm for sure. I got another live here in a little bit. So you just warming me up. I appreciate you guys, man. Always.
Thanks, Johnny.
To have Billy on here is a pleasure, man. It's an
Yeah.
honor.
Yeah, good to see you.
All right, bud. Have a great day today. All the best.
All right. Have a good one, guys.
Thanks, my
See you,
man.
I guess I need to call them.
Uh-oh.
Thing is, you